Hold on. Oh. Whoa, that's like super blur. Look like I'm in a dream.
Well, I think we're live.
Are we live? Did you see a countdown?
It's up in the corner. I think we're good.
I didn't see the countdown.
New software. We're all good.
Yeah, testing new software. Well, anyways, welcome everyone. We're here for 5 o'clock somewhere. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. And we were testing a new software, and I was blurring my background. I didn't know we were live. So you get a sneak peek into the beginnings of before we go live. It's a very integral process of how we do this. But how we doing, Mr. Andrews?
Good. We'll give everybody a preview live from the green room.
Yeah. Yeah. Live from the virtual green room. Hey, so we haven't been live for a little bit. I think before NADA is when we last went live. There's been a lot that's happened at NADA. We had a crazy NADA, which was awesome. We had a lot of clients. I think you and I ate lunch at 4 o'clock every single day, and the hall closed at 4:30. So if that gives you any indication.
Too many Starbucks burritos.
Yeah, exactly. So
the only thing available.
A lot of the conversation. So from there until from NADA, I know you've been speaking at a lot of 20 groups. I've been speaking at a few. We've been speaking a lot of like annual kickoffs for companies and all that stuff. What are you hearing out there? I would say if we heard the word AI, 6 million times at NADA, I'd be lying. But what have you been hearing out there? What's the topic of conversation, and what are people trying to accomplish out there?
I think it's two things. Everybody's sort of got the light bulb moment that I need a CDP. It's not an option. Like it's a need to have, not a nice to have. So that's been driving a lot of conversation. And I think a lot of the dealers that have been waiting and seeing like what is working and what's not with some of their 20 group counterparts or other groups and stores that they talk to have learned a lot and are now like jumping in and are looking to really take advantage. And then on the AI piece, a lot of excitement, but I'm also starting to hear a lot of skepticism.
Yeah.
And feedback that it's not quite working in the ways that they thought it would. And we're getting a lot of questions on how we can help solve that. And that's, I think, driving a lot of the opportunities that we're getting to go and have those really strategic educational conversations, to go and speak at some 20 groups. And, that's just extremely fun because I feel like we get to really kind of, drive how the industry is going to adopt and maximize all the capabilities of AI. But those are the two key themes that I'm hearing right now. What about you?
Yeah, I would say like in general, a lot of the stuff, and we talk about this a lot, is that before when you were building AI, it was specific to you, and you can do your own stuff. I would say now AI is commoditized, so like for your ability to spin stuff up, and we see a lot of new vendors pop up, every week or month or whatnot. But I would say the data that is connected to your AI is really what differentiates you out in the space, because you have anyone. And if you look at this from a foundational framework, what I see out there is that there's a lot of top-down AI strategies, meaning I can build a bot, I can build a lead response, an email responder, or if you really want to get advanced, you can go build a claw bot and have an autonomous agent just work for you. But that's a lot of that is surface level, and then that goes, and then it operates up here and it pushes down into whatever operating system that you need to sell a car, right? So there's not bots selling cars, to my knowledge, right now. There's not an autonomous dealership, so you still need to have that. So the way that we look at it is that, the foundational side is, one, connecting the pipes for all of your data, and then taking the data and cleaning the data, so the data that you have is actually accurate and up to date, and relevant, which then goes bottom up to feed the AI, which gives you, better insight, better, better responses, and better workflow on that is kind of what I'm saying. Where what I'm seeing is like, the CDPs haven't, gone away. I was reading a post the other day that like the AI has overtaken the CDP craze of what was, a year ago. But on the AI side, you have to have that framework to build off of, right? So I think that that's a lot of, what we're seeing, and we're in conversations about that all day. So I think, one that's very fundamental, and that's both here in auto, outside of auto, they'll say the same thing. Is like the data you connect it with is, the more powerful you're going to be.
Yeah, without a doubt. I hear from a lot of dealers specifically that are struggling with AI to like handle lead response and things of that nature, where they're like, it keeps getting tripped up. It's not answering the customer's questions. It's not really personalized. Like it's kind of just an automated way of saying, when can you come in? Right. Which like was the exact thing we've been trying to get away from. And when you start to dig deeper and understand, well, like, okay, how are you actually powering the AI to work? Like what data are you sending it? We're finding that a lot of it's just the same basic ADF XML data that has always been attached to the lead. And I think it's really exciting when we look at how we can actually use the CDP to feed more rich data into some of the AI models and to make it more conversational, more personalized, more intelligent, because now it's not only looking at the lead details, it's looking at everything else we know about that customer. Have they previously done business with us? When was the last time they serviced? What do they currently own? What are their shopping behaviors, right? Like when you feed AI with better data, it's naturally smarter and it's going to be able to produce the business outcomes that you need more effectively. So everybody's dipping their toe into the AI space and trying to, test different tools. But it's all about how you actually like set it up and give it good data to function properly. And if you have a CDP in place, you have a significant advantage over anybody else that's just like plugging it into CRM or plugging it into DMS.
Now what about like the end is like actually, like we said earlier, is like how do you use this to be more operationally efficient? And I think one of the things that when we rolled out our CRM at NADA, what we refer to as like a closed loop, operating system, not to be confused with a closed ecosystem, because we're very open. A closed loop ecosystem, meaning I can organize and structure the data. I can do one-to-one communication at scale. I can leverage that data to then power the responses for the dealership. But what's really cool, and what we've been seeing when we've been showing dealers our CRM, of which we've had unbelievable response to, is that a lot of people are trying to go 0 to 100 and saying AI is just going to do all of it. But what we're seeing is, because of the power of that kind of closed loop ecosystem, instead of the CDP layering on top and then your CRM sits to the side, the number one request that we always get from dealers is, how do I get my CDP data into my CRM so my salespeople can see it? They can use this data to be more efficient in responses and all that stuff. But also like giving the ability to operate at a higher capacity, meaning AI is not trying to come in and just say, all right, you buy our piece of software, we're going to be 1 million times better than every BDC agent, and we're going to be 1 million times better than every salesperson. Where the human assisted AI, which is again creating that closed loop ecosystem, is where we're starting to see is really, really beneficial to operate at a higher capacity, instead of saying, like, if you do 20 touches a day, now you can do 40, because the system is giving you that much more to not do the legwork and just get the information that says call Ron. When I go in, it'll say, hey, here's everything about Ron. Here's what he's looking at. Here's his activity. Here's his equity position, and he's coming in for service on on Thursday and he's looking at this car, here's the response. Do you want to send it? Yes, no, edit, great, hit go. And that is like going through, and it's very eye-opening for a lot of people on there. So I know that you've been having a lot of conversation on that. What are you been hearing on the feedback from the CRM? And again, it's a very different construct of the CRMs that are out there right now. And there are some good ones, but they're, for all intents and purposes, just a data layer to organize, inbounds, one-to-one communication for the salespeople, and then they tack on a whole bunch of different systems.
Yeah, I mean, you think about like most CRMs, the way they're set up, it just tells you like what you need to do. It doesn't tell you why, and it doesn't help you actually do the things. Even I remember back when I was selling cars, you'd get these tasks that would fire, like call this person or email this person, and you have to click into 4 or 5 different screens to understand, like, okay, like what am I doing? Like, why am I reaching out to them? What am I supposed to say? What's their history with the store? What came through in the lead details? So, that process alone can take 5-10 minutes just to like research and complete a task. Well, what if that took 30 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way that we're talking to dealers about how they should be leveraging AI is not like, hey, you can replace all of your people, or you can, replace all of your current processes. It's how do you make all of that better, smarter, faster, right? Like, that's the key. And especially with our CRM, the dealers are gaining so much productivity. Like, everybody's better connected inside of the store. They're more productive. And most importantly, they're able to provide a better customer experience because they have all of that data, and they're able to leverage the AI to help them really communicate one-to-one with a customer on an individual level, instead of, sort of mass communication, hoping that it lands with whatever particular person.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we could stay on here all day and chat, because we're talking with people all the time and trying to see, what's next. But I know that we have some we'll be out in the field. I know we're speaking at a bunch of 20 groups here. Obviously, if you guys want us to come chat, obviously hit us up. We'd love to do that. We'll be out at the CXO Summit right before DMSC in Scottsdale in a few weeks, which is super exciting. And then, we obviously have live launch all the time, which we will unveil some really cool stuff. But it was great connecting, and apologies in the beginning as we were testing the software. You got a sneak peek into how the magic happens, so you can see how it all works. But thanks for hopping on, and always make sure that you're checking out the product and feature releases on our website. We're pushing a lot of updates. We did some really, really cool updates in the last 2 weeks. So that's firing on all cylinders, all provided by our clients. So if you guys have those feature requests, make sure you get those in, and we'll make sure we can get those updated. So good seeing you, and we'll see everyone else out in the field, and we'll talk to you guys later.
See you later.
See ya.